best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Hey, I want to really thank all y'all for the really nice words you've been saying to me lately. I appreciate all the kind comments. You guys have been really sweet in the comments and just making me feel right at home. You know, a lot of people were saying, I'm not sure how this is really going to work with him going down to Texas. How much is going to change him? You know, change a guy we really know. And I just say I'm as tickled as a dog with a whole plate of hush puppies wrapping bacon. You guys are just absolutely tremendous and fabulous, and can't thank you enough for all your support over the years. It's really absolutely amazing. Actually, I just did a video where I was saying I'm almost to like 30,000 subs. You fellas have pushed me almost to 40,000 subs. I had no idea. When did this happen? I'm a little embarrassed, you could say, but anyway, I'm very thankful. Okay, I'm going to drop that. So anyway, I've got a mail here, and I'm going to give an answer I suspect many of you won't like, but this is my honest answer. I think this would be genius. Okay, I got really excited about this idea, and I've done plenty of videos saying, I think that calling Miles Morales Spider-Man is a bad idea for him. See, now I can't quite get rid of the accent. It's like stuck on there, like glue. I got to talk regularly for a bit to get this out of my system. It always happens whenever I do this. Anyway, but I stand by what I say. I think it hurts Miles Morales to have a Spider-Man in his name. I think contrary to, hey, there's only one true Spider-Man, but it's Peter Parker. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. No matter how much you say on Twitter, no, Miles is the real Spider-Man, or he can be just as much Spider-Man as the other Spider-Man, whatever you do, a lot of people are still going back to that default thought of Peter Parker. And who hurts with that? Well, Miles. Miles at this point is a fairly popular, fairly fleshed out character, has had a successful movie. There's something unique about Miles. And so I think that Spider-Man name is wrong. So this viewer writes in with a bit of a challenge, and I've got your answer. And I actually think it's a genius answer that would not only solve this problem, but actually take the problem and lean into it and turn it on its ear and really fix it. So let's get to the mail. It says, "Hi, Perchington. May he perch until the sun falls into the ocean." Goddamn right there. All right, so you posted videos today about the new Spider-Boy character. Would Marvel's efforts to differentiate Miles Morales have gone better if he'd been branded as Spider-Boy from the beginning? I typed that out and then answered my own question for two reasons. Number one, since he was a replacement for Ultimate Spider-Man, there would have been no reason for him to have a different name. Not necessarily. I mean, he was younger. Well, not really, though. Well, sort of. A little young. Just a little younger. Wouldn't have been that weird. But back to the mail. Number two, the racial connotations of boy that only occurred to me as I was typing out the question. Yeah, that would be more of a problem, for sure. So I guess I'll ask a different question. Let's say that you were given editorial influence on Marvel, and your edict was that Miles needed to have his own identity besides Spider-Man. How would you go about doing it? I'm ready for this question. I'm so ready. We'll finish up Bill. So I think at this point, after having 2 movies and 2 video games, with him also being Spider-Man, the ship has sailed. Do you see your way around that? I do. It does seem that most toys and media just call him Miles Morales anyway. Exactly. All right. Thank you very much for the mail. Really appreciate it. The person who wrote that in is always awesome. Posts a lot of really nice things all the time, and just really appreciates it. I appreciate it. Okay, so here's what I do. So I'll give you the answer. I just call him Miles. I just call him Miles Morales. For drop the Spider-Man, he's just Miles. Okay? Now, you might go, nah, I mean, that's a name. That's his name. That's literally his name. So that doesn't seem that special. But here's the genius of it. Okay? So what does Miles Morales represent? Or what should he represent in terms of Marvel? Well, I would argue that Miles Morales, more than any other character that Marvel has, represents the new generation of Marvel's heroes. Kamala Khan, certainly they've done some things clarifying, but Miles has proven more popular. Has had a couple more years on him. And Miles Morales really is, I would say, the face of the new generation. And Marvel needs this new generation. They need younger superheroes as part of just the overall freshening of their line. And Miles Morales has largely stuck. And I would argue that Miles Morales has mostly stuck, not because he's a spider character. He's got spider powers and everything else, but honestly, his personality, unlike a lot of the characters Marvel has, young and old, is fleshed out and unique to him. He is his own character. He's part of a new generation. Well, as Marvel is fooling around in DC2, or fooling around with, what does the next generation want? Hey, maybe these readers want something different, everything else. Here's where you have Miles Morales take a divergent path from Peter Parker. So Peter Parker, for the vast majority of his career, Spider-Man has struggled to hide his secret identity. That's been inherent to the character. J. Jonah Jameson saying, go get pictures of Spider-Man, and Peter Parker going to do that. It's been this constant aspect. I would argue one of the bigger aspects to his personality. Unlike the Fantastic Four, the Avengers at times, Peter Parker, Spider-Man has always had that secret identity, always hid it. And a big part of his storylines was somebody's going to discover my secret identity. That's been a huge part of his character. Now, very briefly, Mark Millar in Civil War had him, go public. And it was this huge, kind of groundbreaking moment. So much so that, Marvel ultimately kind of retconned and undid it via the Doctor Strange magic stuff. But, they gave him back his secret identity because, they couldn't live with it. It was just too different for the character. They couldn't have Peter Parker, Spider-Man out there as the identity known. And so Peter Parker is forever Spider-Man as his hero name. So Miles, however, does not need that. In fact, it's a huge opportunity to have him carve his own path, to go, I am not going to hide under a mask. I am coming out. I'm out. Not I'm coming out, but I'm going to be myself. The new generation of heroes, and some of this is talking points, but the younger generation, my generation, we want to be authentic. We don't want to do it the way our parents did and the older generations did. We want to do it a different way. We want to do it a way that is, our identity is there. We're proud of it. We're going to stand behind it. And that we're going to make that who we are. And as a result, Miles, on the other hand, should go, you know what? I'm trying to help my community. I'm trying to be more of a hero for the people, all the kind of things they've written into that character. So have him go, I can't do that behind a mask. I'm going to do that and stand proud and be my own character. And in that moment, you do two major things. You give him an entirely divergent path from Peter Parker. You ditch all of the hiding the secret identity stuff. You ditch, the same obsession with the mask, and instead he gets to stand tall as, I am who I am. I am proud to be, Black Puerto Rican. I am proud to be a superhero representing my neighborhood, my people, and as a result, I'm not going to wear a mask, and I'm not going to hide behind an identity. My identity is who I am, Miles. Now, that can get really preachy in a comic book, for sure, if it's written the wrong way. If it's written right, it's a freaking gold moment. You have him come out and say, and dump, basically, I choose. Not the internet chooses for me, not, some people say I'm the second Spider-Man, or I'm the not Peter Parker version of Spider-Man, or I'm the Black Spider-Man. I am Miles. I am owning that identity. I'm owning who I am. And that becomes a very unique and different character for Marvel. Steve Rogers' identity is known, Fantastic Four, but they've not put it out there that way. In this instance, you have something actually, fairly new that Marvel can do with a popular character, where he truly takes the identity and he uses that to catapult him into something different. In that moment, he is not Spider-Man anymore. He's walked away from it. All the people who are kind of hung up on, well, you can't take that identity away from him because, all the bad white people say that he can't be Spider-Man. No, you get the character himself saying, I'm proud of who I am. I'm taking the mask off, and I'm going to stand next to my neighborhood, next to my people, and be me. That is a powerful moment. And that makes the character different. It solves the Spider-Man problem. It keeps him popular. It gives him something new to go with. Several of the movies and comics are already calling him Miles Morales. So you just lean into that. I mean, right now from the the public, imagine that headline, because, the Rolling Stone and IGN and, all these sites would come out with their stories. Hell, that is a story that actually CNN would run with if you're looking for just PR Marvel, which is Marvel's Miles Morales carves his own identity. He's not going to do superheroing. He's not going to do this the way the way it's been done in the past. He's going to do something new. He is a new generation. The PR is great for Marvel. It would satisfy that group. If you did it the right way, if you had the statement come out like that, nobody's going to be like, all right, Marvel backed away because they wouldn't let a black guy be Spider-Man. No, anyone who said that would sound absurd if you wrote it right. You're like, oh, so you think that strong black characters shouldn't have their own identity? Okay, I get it. Yeah, all right, racist. Like, no, it's perfect cover. But more than that, it's good for the character. It actually gives the character a very different batch of stories and motivation and things that he gets to go do that's relevant to him. And it allows Marvel to play with something a little different than what they've done in the past. They can tell some different stories with it. This would work really well for them. And by the way, if you're looking at kind of the superhero analog in manga, My Hero Academia, a lot of those characters, the heroes of tomorrow, they don't have secret identities. They come out, they're just themselves, and they're able to tap into the same kind of storytelling. So that's good for Marvel too, but that's exactly how I would do it. I would just take Spider-Man identity away, and I would own Miles, and I would have him, the character, up and proud and saying, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to be different. And it allows Marvel to continue to tell the Spider-Man stories of, you have Peter Parker go over to him like they're hanging out in a building, go, man, I'm really proud of you that you did this. I my life is so tangled up. I've had so much history. It's impossible for me to do what you did, but I'm proud of you, kid. I mean, just there's a lot of really good moments you can play off of this. And, and definitely it can get overbearing and crappy under the wrong writer's hands. No doubt about it. But as a uniqueness to the character, this is exactly what you should do. It solves multiple problems in one fell swoop. So thank you very much for the mail. That's how I would do it. Now, to the comments, hate on it, by all means. It's different. It's comic readers are conditioned to accept the secret identity and all the rest and everything else. And, so this is an idea that I'm sure will not land well with several of you. But I'm telling you, I love this concept. I've gone around when I read that mail, like this, it popped immediately in my like this is exactly how they would do it. And as a businessman, that would be money. It would be good PR. And it'd be money. And if for anyone who would come in and say, you're telling me you're going to sell a comic and the name of the comic is going to be Miles Morales, who's going to buy a comic called Miles Morales? Well, first of all, Miles is not a bad name in terms of kind of a superhero name. It's like Flash. It's like Guy. It's not a bad name at all. And so you could easily do that. But more important, everybody already knows he's Miles Morales. Really popular movies have already broken this ground. You see, you got this. Just go with it. You really think in 2023 the name of the title is anybody's gonna care? People are gonna be like, I can't buy a comic called Miles. That's weird. Nobody's gonna say that. So go for it. Anyway, thank you very much for the mail. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, beat it up. I can take it. Thanks for listening.